first, the foundation only comes in 15 shades. And when you have bigger brands like Kylie and Fenty Beauty coming out with like 30 shades concealers and 30 shades of foundation, this is actually pretty poor. I'm hoping that they expand their shade range, because people with darker skin tones or people with really, really pale skin, they just really don't have that much to choose from. So that's kind of disappointing, but the foundation is $39. Alright, so let's read some of the claims online. It says it provides the same rich, creamy, full coverage as Shape Tape Concealer and a skin smoothing, weightless gel. The collagen and hyaluronic acid packed formula continuously hydrates while helping to plump skin and refine pores without creasing, caking, or fading for 12 hours. Some pretty high claims, because most foundations don't even make it past 12 hours, but then there's some foundations out there that are like, yeah, it'll stay on for 24 hours, and it's just like, who wears foundation for 24 hours? But I get where they're going with that claim, so it like reels people in and whatnot. But okay, so I did get the hydrating foundation just because your girl's skin is drier than the Sahara. Like, it is so dry. A lot of hydrating foundations aren't that full coverage, which is very sad, because I mean, when I get like a super matte foundation, it just kind of emphasizes my pores. So that's the reason that I got the hydrating. So I have high hopes for this foundation. Alright, so the color that I got is light medium sand, and I got this color because I love yellow undertone foundations, and I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand for you guys. Looking at the consistency, I can already tell that it's not as thick as Tarte Shape Tape, but I absolutely love this color. You can see that it has a really pretty yellow undertone in it. So just for comparison, I'm going to swatch my Tarte Shape Tape in the color light sand right beside it, just so you guys can see the difference in color and maybe in texture as well. This is the comparison of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. Alright, so on the right side of my face, I'm going to be using my Morphe Beauty Blender, and on the left side of my face, I'm going to be using the Morphe M439 Foundation Brush, my all-time favorite foundation brush. Alright, so I'm pretty excited that it has the wand like the Tarte Shape Tape. I feel like it'll be very convenient. Alright, so I'm just going to go on this side of my face first, and I'm just going to make little lines on my face to blend out. Totally just got some on my pants. Alright, so I'm just going to go in with my Morphe Beauty Blender. I absolutely love this color. So far it's sitting on my skin pretty nice. Okay, so it goes a long way. I definitely put way too much on my face. I never know what to expect with some foundations, because some of them go a long way and then some of them you have to really put it on. Okay, so right off the bat, I can tell that I'm definitely going to try and apply another layer, because this was about light to medium coverage. I mean, I can definitely still see some of my freckles coming through, and it didn't really give me the coverage that I was hoping for, but I'm really hoping that it's buildable and will sit nicely throughout the day. But I'm going to go ahead and do the other side of my face with the foundation brush. Alright, so I am hoping that the brush will give me a little bit better coverage, because usually brushes will give you the better of the coverage, but I will say that beauty blenders make foundation sit nicely on your skin and kind of give you that skin-like appearance. Okay, so right off the bat, I ultimately like the Beauty Blender side. I feel like it just looks a little bit more natural, and it's just sitting on my skin better on this side. I feel like on this side with the brush, it might be emphasizing my pores just a little bit, but it's not doing anything too terrible. So so far, I actually like it. Okay, so I'm going with a little bit more on both sides just to see if it will give me buildable coverage. So it's definitely buildable coverage. It gave me about a medium with putting that extra layer on. I don't think it will get up to full coverage, because I still can see some of my freckles coming through. But, I mean, I don't mind it. Medium coverage is pretty good for me. That's what I expect in a lot of foundations, because it's really hard to find a full high coverage foundation. But I'm going to go on with my Beauty Blender on this side just because I can already tell that I absolutely love the Beauty Blender a lot more than the brush, just because it did emphasize some of my pores. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape just to see how my concealer lays on top of this foundation. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this concealer out and see how it lays on my foundation. Okay, so my concealer laid beautifully on top of the foundation. As always, Tarte Shape Tape concealer never disappoints. I'm going to see how it wears throughout the day, and I'm going to finish my makeup, and I will see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so I forgot to come back and film me after I got done with my makeup. I went and ate, and I was watching Pretty Little Liars, but I'm back finally, 3 hours later. I got done doing my makeup around 12, and it is now 2:53, and the foundation is still sitting on my face very beautifully. I know in the beginning I was kind of skeptical about how it was sitting on my face, but it actually looks really good on my face. I think that after having the foundation on longer, it kind of sat into my skin better. At first it was kind of sitting on my skin a little weird, but it actually looks amazing. And I did forget to tell you guys in the beginning that I prime my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte primer. It's more of a drying primer, and it just kind of like blurs your skin completely and fills in your pores really good. And the reason I used that is because this was a hydrating foundation, so I didn't want to use like a primer oil with a hydrating foundation because I felt like that wasn't going to work. So okay, so to finish up my makeup, I did put on some Hoola bronzer. I did Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. I did the Dandelion blush in the Benefit Cheap Parade. I used the Essence Lash Princess mascara. I used the Essence liquid liner, and I set my face with the Ulta Beauty Dewy Setting Spray, my all-time favorite, just because it gives your face some life after you have done all that makeup and powder and whatnot. But I think that this might have actually helped the foundation sit on my skin better. Now that I'm thinking about it, after I used this and it sat in my skin a little bit, it kind of just made the foundation like just lay on my skin really nice and beautiful. So far I'm actually really liking it, and I'm excited to see how it holds up through the day. But I will do another check-in in maybe an hour or two in natural lighting so you guys can see what the foundation looks like in natural light. See you guys then. Okay, so the foundation has been on for a little over 4 hours, and it still looks super beautiful on my skin. I haven't noticed it breaking apart or creasing any, and it actually is starting to look really, really good. I really don't have any complaints at this point, but then again, it's only been 4 hours. I usually get the crease lines right here, and it usually starts to break apart right there really bad, but I have ate, and I've lounged around, and I've probably touched my face, and it still looks pretty dang good, you guys. And it actually is sitting on my skin super, super beautiful. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it looks so gorgeous on my skin. And like I said before, it is probably medium coverage, and I tend to go for high coverage foundations. I can see my freckles through my foundation up here, so other than that, I think it looks absolutely beautiful right now, and I will check back with you guys in a little while. Okay, so the foundation has been on for a little over 9 hours now. It's 9:16 right now, and it did hold up pretty good until about a couple hours ago. I started creasing really bad right across my mouth, and of course it came off around my mouth, and I started creasing right here beside my nose, and it did break apart on the top of my nose. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it did break apart really bad right there. And it also broke apart right here. I don't know if I was like touching my hair or whatnot, but it did come off pretty bad right there. And it's not really oily or anything. It did sit nicely on my skin. I would absolutely love to try the matte. Maybe the matte would be a little bit more high coverage, and it might stay on a little bit better, but I don't mind this foundation. I actually really like it. It's just, it didn't exceed my expectations because of it being Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to do one more check-in in about 2 hours, just so I will have the full 12-hour review, and that's definitely 3 hours. I'm going to do another check-in in about 3 hours just so I can have the full 12-hour experience of it, saying that it's a 12-hour wearing foundation. So I will see you guys in 3 more hours. Okay guys, so I officially have had this foundation on for 12 hours and I am so ready to take it off. But anyway, I'm actually surprised with how well it held up. It, of course, it's not on my chin at all anymore, and that's the problem I have with most foundations, is they just like fall off my chin sometime during the day, and I really don't know why, because I don't like touch my chin. But anyways, it did start separating around my nose like I said earlier, and it still looks pretty much the same as it did 3 hours ago, other than my chin. I don't really know what happened to my chin. It didn't want to stay on for some reason. But yeah, my foundation looks pretty good considering it's been on 12 hours, which is a really long time for a foundation to be on. That's wearing it from the morning to the nighttime. That's how long it's been on. And it has held up pretty well. I mean, I expected for it to separate some, but I think it looks good, and I think I might purchase the matte foundation just to see how it holds up. I think that since this was a hydration foundation, that's why it wasn't as full coverage, but I also think that's why I got a little oily, and that's why it separated a little bit on me. But I actually loved the finish of the foundation. At first I was a little skeptical, but as I got throughout the day, it set on my face really nice, and I guess the hydration in the foundation kind of helped it to just lay on my skin really good and beautifully. But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this review, and if you would, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!